It's time to drop my movie hot takes. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be dedicated to 10 hot takes. Some are going to be positive for me, some are going to be negative for me. But either way, drop your movie hot takes in the comments down below and be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And without further ado, here are 10 of my movie hot takes. So we're going to start with the most recent one. I loved Babylon. Babylon is Damien Chazelle's most recent movie that came out, and it absolutely bombed at the box office. It had very divisive critic and audience reviews, and a lot of people I've talked to don't like this movie. I, on the other hand, absolutely loved it. It's by no means my favorite Damien Chazelle movie because he has made Whiplash and La La Land, so of course it's not going to be better than those, but I still really dug Babylon. I thought that it had an incredible score, by the way. It is Oscar nominated for that, rightfully so. But on top of all this, it's telling a story of Hollywood transitioning from this period of silent movies to talking pictures and the chaos that would ensue during that time period. And the movie as a whole is a perfect celebration of movies, especially at the end of the film, but it also condemns the dark side of Hollywood that's not talked about as much. All that's to say, I love Babylon. I know that's a kind of hot take because a lot of people seem to not love this movie, but that is a more mild take as compared to the others on this list. Moving on, I'm just gonna say it right now. Footloose 2011 rules. That movie's awesome. It's so much fun. It's the definitive version of Footloose in my opinion. I know a lot of audiences and critics don't like this movie, but me and my girlfriend love to rewatch it all the time. Miles Teller steals the show here. Go Dogs! The soundtrack's a bop, and it's one of the most rewatched movies for me in recent years. And rounding out my more positive hot takes, for me at least, and way on the mild side, I think Bullet Train is one of the best movies of the decade. I've watched it 3 times now, and I don't understand why it was getting bashed by a lot of critics. It's got an ensemble cast with some awesome action set pieces. It's highly stylized and fun from start to finish. Lemon and Tangerine, one of the best cinematic duos last year, and it was just pure fun. The movie is super rewatchable, and we often don't get action movies like this that aren't a part of a big franchise. It was a standalone movie. It was effective. I dug the hell out of it. Now, the rest of this video might not be for the faint of heart. You might be offended by some of my hot takes, but in the wise words of the dude, it's just my opinion, man. I'll start with some moderately hot takes. First on this list, the Lion King 2019 remake is abysmal. I didn't know this was a hot take because I thought everyone was sort of in agreement with this, but I've mentioned a few times how I think it's awful, and a lot of people are like, how do you not like it? Well, it's because I love the 1994 version so much. That's the definitive version of the Lion King, and this is literally almost a shot-for-shot remake with no emotional connection or really value. All of the musical numbers are lesser compared to the original. They cut down and cut out some of them entirely, and I just felt nothing watching this movie. It is probably the worst quote-unquote live-action Disney remake I've ever seen, and the movie is just not good. My next hot take is that Thor: Love and Thunder is the worst MCU movie. I saw this movie twice in theaters. I will probably never watch it again. The movie's painfully unfunny, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point when I'm talking about it, but every joke misses. The character of Thor is a total goofball in this movie, and the dramatic moments didn't emotionally resonate with me because every 5 seconds they tried to insert a joke here that just missed the mark entirely. Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher was completely wasted. Zeus is a total goober, and 20 minutes of the movie focus on him. I'm mind blown by the end of this movie and the fact that Thor is just taken in Gore's daughter. He's like a father figure to her. Like, that astounds me. The whole entire movie, I have no words. Thor: Love and Thunder is the worst MCU movie. This one is going to upset you horror fans, so buckle up. In my opinion, the iconic horror movie franchises, 2 in particular, Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street, have really just bad first entries in their franchises. Starting with Friday the 13th, that movie's a snooze fest. I haven't even explored the sequels because I have no desire to. I have no clue how the franchise became so iconic because after one movie, I had no interest to watch anymore. Not only was it cheesy, which makes sense considering the time period it came out in, but in terms of horror, there's not much here. Got one really effective jump scare, but other than that, the movie's a snoozer. And you want to talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street? I get Freddy Krueger's become iconic. I haven't seen the sequels. I'm just talking about the original film here. It's got its fair share of terror for sure with gruesome imagery, but the movie's laughable in my opinion. Like, it's cheese to the max, and there's certain horror that's like really effective to me, and both of these first entries in iconic horror franchises don't get it done for me. And while we're here, X, which came out last year, was trash. I'm still baffled by all the praise that movie got. Like, we're almost an hour into what, an hour and a half movie, and I'm like dozing off watching it. It is the dumbest plot I might have seen in a long damn time. I was just cracking up the whole time. I don't get the praise that X got, and I will never watch Pearl because of it. It is just such a slow-moving, boring horror movie that is overrated as hell in my opinion. I've saved the hottest takes for last, so let's get into this thing. WALL-E is the most overrated Pixar movie. Now, I don't think WALL-E is a terrible movie. There's no denying that it can be emotionally moving with a great score and it's wonderfully animated. But the fact that that this is oftentimes a top 5 #1 Pixar movie for people blows my mind. This is like a bottom tier Pixar movie for me. And I get what it's trying to go for with its message about the environment and humanity. Trust me, I fully understand all of that. But like a lot of these movies on this list, it is so tough to sit through WALL-E. When I was a child and tried to watch this movie for the first time, I felt the same way as I do right now. It's a bore in my opinion. I know there's sweet moments for sure, I'm not denying that. But the few moments in this movie that really hit are not enough to save it overall, and I will never understand the WALL-E hype. Brace yourselves because this one will definitely upset a lot of you. It's kind of a 3-in-1. Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water, Dune, and Mad Max Fury Road are all extremely overrated movies that are all about the visuals and spectacle over compelling story and characters. Now I know a lot of you guys love those movies, so let's talk about them in the comments down below, but I'll start with Avatar 1 and 2. No denying the visual spectacle these movies are. They are incredible to watch on the big screen. But when it boils down to it, I couldn't name 5 characters from these movies with a gun to my head. Jake Sully is the only character who is somewhat remarkable here, and in the second film, he takes a massive backseat to new characters in a plot that is pretty much a rehash of the first movie. Precious element on Pandora, we gotta hunt him down, we gotta kill Jake Sully. Beat for beat, it just feels like straight up a rehash to me, and the movies are so damn long and boring. Moving on to Dune. Now I'm gonna say this right now, Dune 2 comes out later this year, and I will be rewatching Dune for the first time since theaters in preparation for it. I hope I enjoy it more, and I think I will like Dune 2 more than Dune Part 1. That being said, I have not seen Dune since theaters, but as it stands right now, I find the movie to be wildly overrated. People were praising it as one of the best movies ever when it came out. And again, visually, so impressive, but I just didn't get the hype. People were comparing it to The Lord of the Rings, which I find offensive, honestly. In terms of storytelling alone, Lord of the Rings blows Dune out of the water. And in terms of the lead character, Paul Atreides is this super angsty guy, and I found it difficult to really connect with him or care about him. In addition to this, the lore of Dune, the novel, is so expansive that as someone who has not read the book, it was very hard to get on board and fully understand the vision of this franchise so far. It doesn't help that a part 2 was not greenlit for a few months after the movie came out. So when this movie ended, I didn't really get any clarity or finality, and there was no part 2 that was greenlit, and I was like, what the hell was the point of everything I just watched? And of course, Mad Max Fury Road, a movie that is beloved by many as a high-octane action ride, and again, it's 2 hours of non-stop action. If you're into that, great. The visuals are stunning, yet again. It deserved all the technical praise that it got. But at the end of the day, I didn't give a damn about anybody in this movie. In fact, this whole movie is a road chase, and I never understood the overwhelming amount of praise that it got. But my last hot take here in this video, perhaps my hottest of all time, it's gotten me called a communist, a Scrooge, the Grinch. I think A Christmas Story is absolutely terrible and unwatchable. I've seen the movie once in my life, and once is one too many times because the movie is unbearable. It's a classic Christmas movie that plays every single year, and people grew up watching it. I didn't watch it until I was like 20 years old for the first time, and my God, was the movie a drag to get through. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and deny the fact that it is an iconic Christmas movie that a lot of people love. I am not one of those people. I was just irritated watching this movie. The feeling I got watching this movie, it's just almost as if I had an itch that I couldn't scratch, and I was just sitting there twitching, waiting for the movie to end, almost being tortured by this movie. The movie just felt so disconnected. I wanna watch a Christmas movie that makes me feel something, and A Christmas Story failed miserably to do that. So those are about 10 or so of my hottest movie takes. Definitely drop yours in the comments down below, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I'm definitely getting back to more tier lists and ranking videos as we head into the month of February, so stay tuned for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's keep it cordial in the comments down below. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.